Have you ever had a very random, impulsive thought that came out of nowhere? And you think to yourself, no one else in the world has ever had this thought before. Like, oh, what if I water cooled my PC with orange juice? Or what if I filled my fish tank with acid? Things that are completely random and spontaneous. And you would think to yourself that they were completely original and never even pondered before thoughts. But you'd be wrong. Because you are never truly alone. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Thinking, which is a series that I started a month ago, where I try and beat Minecraft for the first time, while just answering questions that I think are interesting, or things that I feel like you guys can relate to, that are going on in my everyday life. It is almost a month since we started the series. It is currently the last day of January. I'm filming this the morning of. So I want to thank you guys for all the support this month. It's meant a lot, and I look forward to making videos for this series. Speaking of, today we are talking about the fact that you are never truly alone. I know that it is very cliche. It is like almost like some therapist tech. Like a very common angle used in supporting other people when they deal with isolation, talking about how you're never alone and how there's always resources that you can reach out to. It's not necessarily the angle I'm going with today. Mine is more about thoughts, about having original thoughts, and that concept of just trying to deal with the fact that no thought may ever be original. I myself, with my own thinking, I'm a very, I would say, egotistical guy with my own thinking. I always believe that my own thoughts and my own methods are the best way that I could do things, which is obviously unhealthy when you say it out loud. But when I'm dealing with my own problems where there's a solution, or maybe I'm just trying to think of a solution or a way to make it better, I always think that my solution or my answer that I've come up with in my head is the way to go, regardless of what other people say, what other people come up with. Even if I'm completely dead wrong, it could be the worst way to go about a situation, matter of fact. But if my brain and my neurons fire and they're on board with whatever I have to think, whatever my answer is to that problem, then all the words that I get from all the people that support me in my life and all the help and feedback, it just, I hear it. It doesn't go in one ear and out the other, but it has less value. It doesn't hit. It doesn't really change my thinking, right? So with that, I would say that you are never truly alone. You are never, in your own mind at least, when you're coming up with new thoughts, you can try as hard as you want to have the most extravagant, crazy thought, or if you're dealing with a situation that you think, how did I even get into this situation? Like, it doesn't even make sense. It's so crazy and unbelievable. How did this happen? Like, I'll tell you that someone, of the billions of people on this planet, has gone through the exact same thing. Granted, it wouldn't be with the same people. They are not you. They didn't deal with the same people in that situation. It wasn't at the same time. It wasn't at the same place. It could be across the globe. It could be in some third world country, in like a corner of the earth. But it happened. It doesn't have to be exact. And obviously context matters with these situations. But what I'm trying to say is that other people go through the things that you go through, regardless of whether it's the same magnitude or at a certain time in your life when things are piling up and it's not just one thing, but it's multiple. And it's the fact that no experience is completely original in the scheme of the world, at least. Which is a crazy thing to think about, honestly. How little original experiences are happening on a day-to-day basis. Original to you, though, original to your own life, is a completely different story. Because you could see things for the first time or hear things that you've never heard before. But it comes from that feeling of isolation, that feeling of knowing that you're the only person that you yourself trust deep down to problem solve and to come up with answers for your own life. And that feeling of truly being alone with that power. At least in my life, that has been hitting recently. And it's one of those things that doesn't have an answer, right? Isolation and the feeling of being alone. Some people are used to it and it is mundane. Some people grow out of it and strive for change, right? But at the end of the day, it's how your mind interprets it. So when you have that crazy thought of, I don't know, pouring Gatorade all over your dog, I'm trying to think of other random things, but you get the point. You can apply the concept of someone else having that thought, that feeling you get when you feel like you're the only one on the planet going through something. Because someone else, somewhere in the world, probably going through the same thing at the same time as you. And will that make you feel any better? Probably not, because you don't know who that person is. You don't know where they're from, and honestly, you probably don't care. You have your own shit going on. I wouldn't either. But it's just the fact that you aren't alone. Truly. Loneliness is a silent killer, man. Not enough people talk about it, recognize it. Which again, I say this almost every video. I feel like this is the conclusion that I come to at the end of every video. But it's good to reiterate for those who haven't heard it or maybe just need to hear it again. Which is to experience your life in the moment. I know it's difficult. I just went to a Ranger game, the New York Rangers. I live in the tri-state. So I decided, hey, I'm a Ranger fan. I'm going to go to the game even though we suck. By myself, just to try and get my mind off of things. Went about a week ago and we lost, but I tried to just get my mind off of things. If anything, it made it worse. Because you put yourself in a situation where you're surrounded by other people that are living in the moment and you're trying your hardest to do so, but it's just so hard to dissociate and let your mind go sometimes. And I understand that, right? I do it often, especially these days. Hard to turn your mind off, or mine at least. Hard to just stop the thoughts from coming in and to just enjoy what's in front of me. But I encourage you guys to do so, no matter what stage of life you're in, no matter who you're surrounded by, if it's your family, your friends. You never know how long you're going to have with somebody, whether that's in a form of life itself, meaning with like your grandparents or your family. Someone has like a health condition, they might pass. You never know when someone might just be, forced out of your life that way. Or if it's just from a relationship standpoint with somebody, if the spark will die out, or if the time is never right again. You don't want the opportunity to pass itself up, because that is the last thing that you want, is to regret. Again, I'm going crazy off topic, but I feel like it's just, this channel is it's just everything that I have on my mind. I kind of just figure, why not say it? Why not speak it? there might be someone out there that can relate to it or find it at any point helpful. Know that someone else has their thinking out there. It's almost like this video, the point of this video is that when you have thoughts, good or bad, and you wonder if anyone else has ever had this feeling before. It's like in class when you're not understanding, let's say a math problem. I sucked at math growing up. You're sitting in class and you don't understand what the teacher's saying. You don't want to raise your hand and stop everyone from learning, even though you know you might be a dumb question, or someone else might have the same question. So you kind of hesitate and you just wait a while without asking the question. You're still confused, and then randomly someone raises their hand and asks the same question, and they nail it. It's like a sigh of relief knowing someone had that same vulnerability and that same thinking that you did. That's what I'm trying to get at here. Is what are those, you have people in your life that can be a support system to you and aid your thinking, or if someone across the world that you've never met and that you'll never talk to, just know that you're not alone and the feelings are universal, and to enjoy the time that's in front of you because you don't know when it will end. Thank you guys for watching this video. It's something that's been on my mind for a minute, and I just want to say that I appreciate you guys for just sitting here and listening to me for the past month. This series means a lot to me. I've been inconsistent as of late, but I'm trying to get back in the swing of things. And I do it for you guys, man, because seeing your comments and seeing your feedback at the end of the videos and people saying that I'm like a comfort channel now, it means a lot to me, knowing that I could just be a voice or a lunch break, something to put on while you're eating your food. Just knowing that, you know, I'd have a purpose for some people is important to me, and it's the reason I make these videos. So I appreciate you guys. If you have any questions or any feedback if this video was relatable, have any random thoughts that you think are original and prove me wrong, please put them in the comments while I make these videos. And I will see you guys very soon.